and I think she shares sort of the passion for growing an event on our family's property, and she's a great leader and doing a great job sort of helping run it.
And it seems that you're really the man with a plan, and you like to be really strategic about how you're operating throughout the season. But also on the flip side, we saw your horses enjoying the outdoors, outside, and really just being horses.
I'm blessed to live here in Ocala on a big farm where the horses can go out every day and have their time to be horses, and I just kind of see it as, for my hour or hour and a half a day, you have to bring your all, but then for that you get a commitment back from me of you're going to have a safe, quiet, calm stable to live in, fantastic care, and the ability to go out and play in the paddock and express yourself. I always sort of say, hey, you have 23 hours a day to you. Give me an hour and a half of your day and bring your best, and you'll get all the opportunities back from me to have the best life possible.
And inside of the stable, there's many different components that you have helping the horses, such as wellness and keeping them fit. What types of strategies are you doing?
I think that it's important with any horse stable to make sure you're meeting the unique needs of each individual horse. So that doesn't mean what makes one horse tick or perform at their best is really the right recipe for the other horse. I try to make sure we track those things and measure them together with the people in my stable, and I have horses that, frankly, I don't do the lion's share of work with myself. I have horses that do, maybe 70–80% of their work under saddle riding. I make sure that there's a connection because I think that's super important when working with horses. But some horses just do better with more riding work, and some horses in the stable, frankly, do very little riding work just because that doesn't really suit them very well.
And as the years have passed, you've had many successes, but sometimes some moments where it's not as perfect. Maybe the 2006 in Ocala when there was a slight off-course change, but there was a moment where you spoke with your chef to keep, and maybe it was pivotal to the change of year.
Sure, I think that you're in life, you're suffering or learning all the time, and what I've learned myself personally is so on Sunday I went off course, and at the World Equestrian Games in Ocala, it was devastating. It was embarrassing. It was tough to deal with the team of people around me as well, who were all relying on me, and it was clearly my mistake. But at some stage, a wonderful guy, Ed Young, a mentor of mine, said to me, "Hey Chester, are you going to let this define you?" And I said, "No, and I don't think so." And so we sat down. I worked with actually a strategic planner, and we went and we interviewed people who we knew would be truthful to us, and tried to make a strategic plan to make the team better, and that meant a few horses left the program, and actually a person left the program, and we really worked very hard to put the right pieces together. And then, 2 years later, we showed up in Beast in Holland, and I won my first individual medal. And I think those defining things, those ability to step back, reflect, decide, am I going to suffer about this or am I going to learn? And there's without a doubt, when you can take those opportunities and turn them into learning experiences, take a formidable person and let them have a hard experience, they're coming back harder. Mm-hmm. So, setback is only a springboard for a comeback.
And what are your hopes now for your future as you embark on another stage and another journey in your life?
I think I'll carry on doing what I'm doing right now. We have a really good group of horses, and I have some great young talent also coming back into it. With Gabriella, I have a great support in the stable, and I've been trying to develop his driving career. He's driven now 2 world championships with the single horse. Now we're sort of starting to embark on the pair road with him, and trying to help develop that in the future.
He helped me a lot to through my mindset and be focused on my horses and my competition.
What is the team dynamic like inside of the barn as well as at competitions?
We have a great team going on right now, and then at the competition we get a little bit more serious because it's game time, so we have to show our best part and best behavior, and so we try to do that, and then at the barn we try to be a little bit more funny and try to take it a little bit more easy.
And when things don't go perfectly as planned or totally right with Chester, how is he? Are people able to talk to him, or does he need a bit more space to himself?
Usually you need a little bit more space, but that's a little bit my job, so I usually go first to step up and talk to him and take my time, and he tells me a little bit what went wrong and what not, and then we internalize it in the team, we talk through it, and we try to make it better for the next time.
And has there been any single piece of advice or one thing that you really take with you as you enter the competition stage that you've taken from Chester?
Train as you are competing. So you always take every training as a competition day. So you always learn and have the same pressure as you have in competition. So when you're in a competition, everything looks so easy.
And as you're developing some of your students, your protege, what pieces of advice are you giving them?
I always try and tell people when I work together with them, I try and tell them that they're going to do their job the way they're going to do it. So if they try to be, and I see that often with students, they try to, be the next Chester Weber or the next Ludger Beerbaum, but in the end of the day, they have to do it their way. Because if they try to be a copy of me, they're just going to be a poor counterfeit. So I try to help guide somebody like Gabriella, who is a different person than me. There's some parts of his driving that are frankly better than mine, and try to understand the basic principles where I feel like if I improve those principles in his driving or his approach, that would allow him to be his best. And I think that that's something what mentoring and coaching is all about. But you have to also allow somebody to be their own person, because ultimately when you're sitting on the box seat in Ocala or wherever, you have to be able to make decisions based on what you feel. You need to believe in yourself. I'm not at all the kind of person who stands out there before the dressage test and talks to them for 30 minutes before they go in. I stand there, I watch, I'm supportive, I'm present. I think that's important. But I let them tell me what they're feeling, and then sometimes I'll say, hey, here's a little tip of wisdom. But typically people can't learn more than 3 things in a day. So somebody who comes to you and says, do this and do that and do this and do it, no chance. You'd be better off to have 3 really good lessons every day, and then do that over a year's time. People are no different than horses. Good things with horses happen very slowly. That progress happens super slow. Bad things, bad habits, they're adopted sometimes in moments. So I'm a big believer in just take it step for step, and you shouldn't measure your success in life based on a year to year. You should look at where was I a decade ago or 5 years ago, and where do I want to be in 5 years. And I think that that's the same with horses. You should look at, hey, where are you today? Where were you a year or 2 ago? Are we on the right path? And if you're not on the right path, you need to adjust it. And there's never a time with anything that strives for excellence, whether that's working with people or horses, that there's always a need for adjustment to the path.
Thank you very much, Chester, for joining our Clip My Horse TV family and all of the fans around the world watching you and your journey. And for all of you at home, thank you for joining us for episode 2 of At Home with Chester Weber.